Hello, and welcome to the relaunch of What's Next in Hazel Crest. I'm your host, Laverne Murphy, and I have our mayor, Bernard Alsbury, here to talk about the Hazel Crest Creative Arts Center. Today's show, I am your host, Laverne Murphy, and I have with us our mayor, Bernard Alsbury, here to talk about the new Creative Arts Center in our community. So welcome, Mayor.
Thank you for having me, Laverne, and welcome to everyone to come back and watch us as we talk about what's going on in Hazel Crest.
That's right. And so what's new and exciting is this new Hazel Crest Creative Arts Center, which is the poster kind of behind you. And tell me a little bit, how did this vision come about to create a Creative Arts Center?
Well, people who live in Hazel Crest knows that the Hazel Crest proper subdivision, which is the oldest part of Hazel Crest, which was initially established as South Harvey, is located on the east side of our community, next to the metro station. And it was really the center of Hazel Crest. Our original village hall was there. All our activities were conducted on that side of town. Our American Legion Hall is on that side of the village of Hazel Crest. But over the years, it's the older part of town. So it had began to, over the years, people moving out, moving more to the western part of the community and to the southern part of Hazel Crest, where you have Dynasty Lakes and where you have Pot Hills and you have the Highlands. And so the proper, over time, has lost a lot of its economic development and businesses there. And so my goal was to revamp and re-energize and grow that area. So I came across the idea of creating a creative arts center and eventually a creative art district.
Great. And you talked about the district because the center is sort of the catalyst for the district, right?
Yes.
And then I know the residents voted this in, right, to get behind your vision.
The residents have been very excited. We know a couple of things. We know that the metro station that runs back and forth there, many people get off and on that train daily. We also know that Dixie Highway is one of the most traveled pieces of road in our community and historic. Dixie Highway is historic. So I felt through visiting other communities, through organizations like the National League of Cities, the Illinois Municipal League, I've seen that a lot of towns outside have begun to develop art districts. And those art districts have become an economic engine to grow small parts of their community, to put them back on the map, provide something unique for that community. And that's what I really began to look at Hazel Crest proper and see, can this work for us?
Wow, fantastic. So what does that look like for you as far as the center? Tell me a little bit about that. What does that look like for you?
Well, if anyone's been on the east side of town, you'll notice that it's an old strip mall that's been there for years. It's a lot of open space there that we really don't utilize, and we have vacant buildings that businesses have left. My vision was to create something where people who are doing art, whether it's sculpture, whether it's painting, whether it's music, that they have a place to call home. They could come and actually practice their skill, maybe teach some classes, and that area would be a place where artists could feel comfortable in this space, sell their wares, and grow. And that's an economic engine for our community, especially as we know around us we have in East Hazel Crest and Homewood, the new casino coming there. So this is a place people could come and get away from the casino and actually enjoy this and buy some wares, buy some items, whether it's a sculpture or painting, listen to some music, or we can actually have acting classes. Someone who wants to come there and begin to work on the performing arts. And so that concept is the concept that was in my head after visiting places like Los Angeles and Kansas City who have done this in the past.
Wow, fantastic. And when you talk about the design of it and the look of it, it's critical making sure that the residents are involved. Were they involved? Did they have a voice in this?
Yes, from the very beginning, the idea was to have create a creative arts commission and bring them in to help move this forward. But even before we did that, we had residents come in and talk about the idea. But beyond that, we wanted to make sure that the overall community wanted this to happen. So we put a referendum out to the citizens, and they voted overwhelmingly to bring the Creative Arts Center and eventually Creative Art District to Hazel Crest property.
Right, absolutely. And then there was an unveiling too, right, at the Hazelnut Fest to kind of get the buy-in from the residents as well.
Yes. After the residents got together and we hired some consultants to come together and develop a concept, they gave their input, some drawings and the colors, how they want this to look. After we did all of that, we had the consultants actually develop some of the sketches that you see behind us. And we unveiled that at the Hazelnut Festival. And people were just excited and amazed at what this could actually become from an area that has not been utilized much to an area that it could be a place where we actually go to have leisure time and enjoy ourselves and listen, look, and see art.
Right, absolutely. And so, with this transpiring and you're seeing the visual of how or the overall goal for this particular district, what other particular concepts that you may be aware of that may be a great addition to the district itself?
Once we get this district rolling and put some of the drawings out, School District 152 and a half approached us about creating a creative arts, performing arts center itself. They have an old administrative building there, and they had the funding to really, what they want to do is actually tear down the old administrative building and develop and build a performing arts center, which may seat up to 700, 800 people. They'll have performances performed there, like plays and music. So that'd be a great marriage of the municipal government and the school district to come together, and that would expand, again, our creative arts center to a creative arts district. So I'm excited about that. We're in the process of negotiating that development, and it seems that the negotiations are going well, and we're all excited. Both boards are excited about this, and I'm sure that the citizens of our community will be very excited about it also.
Oh, absolutely. And, it does take funding to do certain things, and having that buy-in as well. I know there was some seed funding towards this project for the Hazel Crest Creative Arts Center.
Well, I have to give kudos to my friend, State Representative Will Davis. He actually provided us $300,000 for seed money to create this creative arts center. And we also got some grant money from our economic development person, working with the Southland Development Authority. We got some seed money to actually do some renderings and design work to make sure as we move forward, we're on the right track of doing that. So those two individuals, those two funding sources have really created the foundations for us to move forward. So that's always great.
Absolutely, because you always take money to make money, right? And so the creation of this is going to create more economic development in the area, right? And so that looks like restaurants, eateries and things like that. And you said like Dixie is one of the major thoroughfare that's here in Hazel Crest, right?
Yes, it is. It's more travel. Kedzie is well traveled, but Dixie Highway is a route that many take to get to the expressway. Also, it comes right through Homewood, right through Markham, and so and through Harvey. And so it's always been a pathway back and forth. As many know, we have the Dixie Highway travel event that we have every year. Dixie Highway, you can take Dixie Highway all the way to Los Angeles. And so yes, it's well traveled and it's a famous road. And so develop that whole art district concept on that historic road is phenomenal. So I'm so excited.
All right, and one last question for you, Mayor. How soon do you see this facility center actually opening? Not opening, but coming to fruition?
Well, we're working on it now. We have the concepts here. Phase 1 is in the works. Phase 1 should be almost done by the end of this fiscal year. Phase 2 will begin right away. And from there, we're rolling on. The Performing Arts Center that School District 152 and a half is establishing, they have a really strong investment in this, and they figure they'll be finished and ready to go by the end of spring next year. So we're going to see some great things happening off the Dixie Highway and in the village of Hazel Crest. And I'm sure the residents over there are going to be excited, and not only for the village of Hazel Crest, but for the region. Everything we try to do, we try to look regionally to make sure it helps the whole Southland. So we're excited about that. The board has been on board. It's great to have a great board to work with. And administration has been phenomenal to work with. And our legislative people have been excellent to work with, and Southland Development Authority. The combination of all of us coming together always get things done. And I appreciate their help and their support.
Great. Well, Mayor, thank you so much for coming on of the relaunch of the show. So, residents, thank you so much for tuning in as we relaunch what's happening here in Hazel Crest. Again, I'm your host, Laverne Murphy, and I had our Mayor, Bernard Alsbury, here with us as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening.